Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Kings of Fantasy Football. I am your co-host, Pablo, and here is my co-host.
Yo.
And on today's episode, we are going to discuss some waiver wire pickups before the first week of the season, which is around the corner. So really excited for the season to get underway. Hopefully everyone that has been tuning in has drafted your teams. You're happy about your team. Um, I pretty much did all my drafts. I'm happy um, with my teams. So we are live on Twitch, YouTube, and now TikTok. So for anyone that wants to tune in. So again, these are going to be some recommended waiver wire pickups before week one in the event that you have some roster space. So I'm going to go first. My waiver wire pickup that to me can help you might be of a shocker, but it's going to be the Seattle Seahawks defense. So streaming defense, they're rostered 44% of sleeper leagues. Some our percentages we're going to go off of sleeper, and they face Denver. And from the experts that I've been seeing, projections for the year, Denver has a hard schedule. Um, Even though they have Sean Payton as head coach, we don't really know what's going to happen in Denver. So again, if you have a roster space, you're not too confident about your defense starting this week one, I'd pick up Seattle. So we'll kind of just do a back and forth. Leo, who's your first waiver wire pickup?
It's funny that you say Seattle because that's not my pick, but like I actually didn't draft a couple defenses in a couple of my drafts, and that was the defense that I picked up because not only do they have a good matchup at the first week, they also have an awesome week two that they play New England. So, which I think that they might be a mess. So that's a good pick. So
Yeah, to be honest, I've been thinking about it because I have faith in some rosters, so who knows. So
yeah,
go ahead.
all right. So the first player that I want to mention to try to pick up in your waiver wire is Jalen Wright. He's the third string running back for the Miami Dolphins. He's a rookie. He's been electrifying in the preseason so far, and you can kind of say that I want to say like he's a handcuff not only for Raheem Mostert but also for Devon Chain because he's an all around versatile talent, and I don't know if you've seen some of the plays that he did in the preseason. Um, he's from the University of Tennessee. Uh, many experts are they they say that he has the same kind of style as Alvin Kamara, and we all know what kind of stud Alvin Kamara is. So uh, the people that are ahead of him is Raheem Mostert. That he's had a lot of injuries throughout his career. Last year was probably like one of the first years that he had a complete healthy season. So if he falls down, look out for Wright to be a game changer for your team.
Yeah, man, I've seen a few plays. He looks good. Like you said, if Mostert or God forbid HN were to go down, I think it really improved his touches and everything. And I know Dolphins head coach really likes to use the running backs in a really efficient way. That offense has always been good. Um, so I definitely agree that you have some roster space in your fantasy rosters, why not pick up the rookie from Miami? And he looked good in preseason, so definitely think he'll help. Um, my next waiver wire pickup, um, I don't know, I'm kind of iffy about it just because it was announced today or I think yesterday, and I totally forgot about him as a player, to be honest. Which was Dalvin Cook. Um, he got picked up by Dallas. The running back since Dallas is Zeke, Dowdle, and I don't know if Cook's going to be the third string. But let's just say if he is, and Dowdle or Zeke get hurt, I think they'll put him in a 50% maybe share. Maybe not right off the bat because probably has to get up to speed learning the playbook and everything. But he's rostered in 27% of leagues. Um, so if you have some roster space, and I don't see it being a bad pickup. I'm just not really sold on Cook. So that's my next waiver wire pickup for week one. What about you?
All right. Yeah, it was pretty surprising that it came out of nowhere. That he went for a visit, and I guess they like what he had. So or they don't like what they have currently at the in the team. So they brought him in because last year Davin didn't really do much. But hey, uh, we'll see what happens. It's gonna be intriguing for sure. I actually picked him up in my dynasty league, so we'll see what happens. Anyways, the next player I want to talk about is it's actually another running back. His name is Bucky Irving. He's currently 24.5% rostered in sleeper. He's a very another versatile running back. He he's very he's he's phenomenal in pass protection. So which kind of made him more moving up in the depth chart very quickly. He can do multiple positions in terms of running the ball, receiving the ball. So he's definitely someone to watch. Uh, the last Rashad White, that he's been their starter for the last couple of years. Honestly, his yards per carry has only been like 3.7 for his 2 years. And in college, Bucky actually had over like 5 yards, 5 to 6 yards per carry. So we'll see what happens as the season progresses and he gets more integrated into the offense. But I'm very looking forward to picking him up. I've picked him up in a couple leagues already as well, just to try to get ahead of things and my league mates, of course.
Um, I didn't know he was in Tampa Bay. I know Rashad White caught a lot of passes last year. So, if he starts producing when he gets touches, then, he'll get more work. So, definitely gonna look into him since both of my leagues are PPR. Um, so I will look into Bucky Irving from Tampa Bay. Now, my next pick, he's rostered in 41% of leagues according to roster, according to Sleeper. I have the starter, at least I thought he was going to be the starter in Denver, just Devontae Williams, but reports have been coming out that Jaleel McLaughlin has been looking good. The last thing I read was if he gets better in pass protecting, blocking, um, he might be a three down back in Denver. So if you have a roster spot, Jaleel McLaughlin, and then again, if Javante were to get hurt, since he got hurt last year, or the year before that, that could, put him into the starting running back there in Denver. So, Jaleel McLaughlin, the running back from the Broncos, is my next waiver wire pickup if you have the space. What about you, Leo?
All right. I got a couple more running backs that are just deeper for deeper leaguers. One is Emmanuel Wilson. He's the currently the running back two for Green Bay. They lost AJ Dillon for the year. He got placed on IR last moment, and Marshawn Lloyd, he's been dealing with hamstring injuries, and he's been questionable. So they Emmanuel Wilson, he's some, like I said, this is more of a deep league, probably especially dynasty league, that if he's available, I would definitely think about picking him up. He's only rostered in 7.7% of leagues, so it's just something to think about if you have the roster space to especially if you have Josh Jacobs, that you have some insurance just in case he falters with an injury.
All right. And just want to say thank you to all the people that are tuning in on TikTok Live. We're discussing waiver wire pickups for week 1 of upcoming fantasy football season. The next waiver wire pickup, he's not rostered in a lot of leagues at all. So, like you said, maybe a deeper league. He was a former Houston Texan in Noah Brown. He went to Washington. I think with Jaden Daniels as the quarterback, Noah Brown was here. He had a few good weeks, about 3 weeks, where he was getting some big yardage touchdowns. So, he does good in Washington. You never know. He could get some of those deep touchdowns. He may become the deep threat over there. He's only rostered in the 3% of sleeper leagues. So if you have a roster spot, if you want to think about it. That was my next pick. What's yours?
So yeah, I'm gonna go to the receivers now as well. I'm gonna come up with one of I guess Bucky Irvin's teammate. His name is Jalen McMillan. He's a receiver. He's only 15.6% rostered in sleeper. He's the he's already he they already named him the wide receiver starter. He's the third receiver. Obviously Mike Evans there and Chris Godwin's there, but he's turned a lot of heads in camp, and and Baker Mayfield has thrown passes his way. The last game he had against the Dolphins, he had a very nice 20-yard reception. That very in a contested shot pass that he did really well down the sidelines. So he's very he played for he's another rookie. He's coming from the University of Washington Huskies. So we'll see what he can do. But I really like him. I kind of think he's gonna be the heir apparent to Chris Godwin in the future. He's gonna be this is a Godwin's possibly last year with Tampa Bay. This is the last year of his contract, and so I think little by little he's gonna start taking over um, in the receiving core there.
Yeah, Washington had a really good passing attack last year. They had a really good quarterback throwing the ball to them. So coming from a good program, like you said, he may take over little by little. And again, to everyone not tuning in on TikTok Live, if you have fantasy questions, feel free to post. We'll try to get to them. We're now discussing waiver wire pickups, but we'll pretty much be going live 1 to 2 times a week during the season. Now, my next waiver wire pickup, I'm a little surprised that he's only rostered in 47% of leagues, but I know with him it could be a hit or miss. At least, since he's been in the league, I feel like they do have some plays designed for him, but this is Taysom Hill, who I'm referring to, tight end slash QB in New Orleans. last year, sometimes he could have two, three touchdowns and then not get anything for a few weeks. I don't know how they're gonna plan on using him. If it's gonna be the same where they have design quarterback draws for him, um, or trick plays. I know sometimes they run like two QB sets. Um, but I'm guessing he's the starting tight end because if I'm not mistaken, I think the other tight end they have over there is hurt. So that's my
Yeah, he,
next waiver pickup. Taysom Hill from the Saints. What about
yeah, he,
you?
Jawan Johnson. He just came back from he was injured, but he came back the last couple of days.
Oh,
But
okay.
but that's a good pick though because you just the only thing you have to check the whatever website you're playing your fantasy in because sometimes Hill's just a quarterback, sometimes he's just a tight end. What's awesome is if he's a multiple position, especially like if you're in a super flex league, there's someone that you can throw in there just in case of an emergency as well. So that's a good someone to pick up for sure. Um, I'm gonna go with another receiver. This is a little like more deeper. I'm gonna go with he's currently 5.2% rostered. Um, and like I said, this is more kind of like a dynasty league pickup. And I'm sure if you're in dynasty, he's probably picked up already. You guys drafted him, but his name is Malik Washington. He's basically uh, another speed demon and with the Dolphins. You can kind of call him like a handcuff for either Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle. If one of them should go down, like he's gonna absorb all those targets that they were getting. So he's just like I said, he's someone to keep an eye on. If you are like any return leagues, he's also kind of like supplemented Braxton Berrios as a returner as well. So he's someone to take a look at, and like I said, in deeper league formats.
Right. Um, so, my next pickup is someone. I mean, I believe he is the RB2 or on the depth chart in San Francisco. This is Jordan Mason. Um, if I'm not, then you can correct me, Leonard. But if he is, then essentially CMC's handcuff. We know that he was hurt during the preseason. He really pretty much didn't play. Um, so if God forbid, something happens to CMC, then having his handcuff will greatly benefit you because then that will become the starting running back. But if he's the running back three, then either way, having handcuffs in the fantasy football is generally a good idea. Um, I know I recently, in this draft that I had this year, I not only got Nick Chubb, but got starting running back in fourth. So, if Nick Chubb comes back later during the season, then I can just drop the other running back. So again, Jordan Mason is rostered in 23% of leagues, according to Sleeper. Got any more, Leo?
Yeah, no, for sure. That he's a good pickup as well. With Elijah Mitchell out for the year, surprisingly, he's the next man up. So I got forbid something happened to Mac, CMC. That's a good
Ooh.
pick. Yeah, so I'm gonna go back to the running backs. I'm gonna go also a little more deep as well. His name is Dylan Labe. He's a another rookie running back that's with the with the Raiders. Um, right now, Zamir White, he has no pretty much competition. Only they, even though Alexander Madison is there, the to me Alexander Madison, he's an okay running back, but he always like when he gets the chance to 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 be the man, he to me he's failed. He's a good for a week or two, but then when he had the chance to be the man a year or two ago in Minnesota, he kind of withered. So, but Dylan Olave, he's a he I think Zamir White can be more of the pounder. The maybe rushing the top two in the first couple carries, first couple downs, and then Olave can be he's gonna be the more the PPR guy. He's coming in as I guess as a rookie. I believe they dropped him in the fourth round, and he's someone to take a look at. And like I said, deep release.
All right, so Leonard, we have a question in TikTok by Connor Junn. Now, Connor, you're asking Gibbs or Barkley to start week 1 to draft. You can give us a little bit more context. Then Carter Goobler saying in the 8-man league you got Brees Hall, just Jefferson at pick 8. Did my league just troll? LOL. 8-man league getting Brees Hall and Justin Jefferson, assuming it's a 1 QB league, is a very good start. So Connor, if you can just again give us some context, whether it's for week 1 starting, drafting, or we could give you some better advice. But Carter, that is again a very good start in the 8-man league, drafting Brees Hall and Justin Jefferson with your back-to-back picks.
Yeah, for sure. If I know a lot of people are scared with Sam Darnold being Justin's Justin's quarterback, but don't worry. Like you know, he played well with the after Kirk Cousins went down last year. So, he's always a stud. So that's a good pick. Don't worry about it. He should be good. And Brees
Yeah,
Hall, I love Brees Hall.
I
I love
went
Brees Hall.
I went with Justin Jefferson this year too. Um, like you said, he still performed after Cousins went down when he came back. So I'm not too worried just because just Jefferson's the highest paid receiver in the league. Carter also said that he got Kelsey, but not sure if he's gonna fall off. Um, that's a little tough. And the only reason I say that is because of his age. He's 34 years old. I mean, back-to-back championships. But I know with his ADP, he's still top 5 tight end in rankings. So just depending on if you have drafted already, if you haven't, kind of just see where he falls, because you could probably get some more value later. Um, but Brees Hall, just Jefferson and Kelsey on your roster, that to me is already you got top 5 guys in those 3 positions. So I think you'll be fine there.
Yeah, it's I know people are scared of Kelsey. I think this might be like one of probably his last year as one of the top guys. I think with he's feeling a little swifty lately, so he might be retiring soon, thinking greener pastures and stuff like that. But he as long as he's playing, man, he's gonna produce. Mahomes. The thing is, the only thing to watch for is that Mahomes now he has more weapons now. Xavier Worthy's there now. Hollywood, even though Hollywood hurt his shoulder, you know, he's there as well. So he might not get he's not the only the only horse in the stable now. There's more studs out there. So maybe he might not get as many targets, but he still should be able to produce for you.
I'm just gonna say again, thank you and everyone for tuned in. I did not think our first time going live on TikTok we'd have 102 viewers tuning in. So again, thank you everyone for tuning in. If you have more questions, feel free to post. Um, I don't really have any more, waiver wire pickups. I feel like, the main ones that I wanted to cover, I did. Leo, do you have any
I got
any
a
other
couple more guys.
ones?
I got a couple more guys I could throw out there. One guy to look for. Even though he's because we in waiver wire, what we try to do is focus on players that are like rostered under 50% and sleeper. But one that a quarterback that's rostered a little bit above Kirk Cousins, 56.8%. He's he's got some great weapons now in Atlanta with Kyle Pitts and Drake London. So and obviously Bajan in the coming out of the backfield. So I would definitely see if he's available to have there. Quarterback is very deep this year, so you can kind of wait on drafting a quarterback. There to me there's like 15 deep of quarterbacks. So you can unless you're in a super flex league, you can pound the running backs and receivers, tight ends, and then swoop in. Like I was in a draft yesterday. I was the last guy to pick a quarterback, and I got Caleb Williams late, and I back up Jared Goff. So and then I got him late, like in the 12th round. So it's something that you can wait on for sure in single quarterback leagues. A couple of deeper guys. Geno Smith is like 27% rostered. He's got a couple of nice matchups first couple of weeks. And the receivers, right under 50% is Jalen Polk. He's a receiver with the Patriots. That he's doesn't have much competition there. Only Demario Douglas is coming back. Kendrick Bourne is out with an IR pup for the first 4 weeks. So, he's a rookie coming in, Jalen Polk, someone to look at there. And someone that got injured during the preseason, Josh Downs. He's a good receiver to take a look at. He's 33.8% rostered. And in terms of tight ends, a couple of guys that are a little deeper. Isaiah Likely, he's 34.1%. Even though Mark Andrews is there, after him and Zay Flowers, I think there's still some passes that could be had, and Likely can probably like kind of like he's very athletic and be a very well used receiver out of as a tight end, and even deeper leagues, super deep leagues, you got Jonnu Smith from the Dolphins that he came in, another weapon to use. That he had an awesome season with Atlanta last year. He's only 12.8% rostered, and even deeper than that, with Tyler Higbee out for the foreseeable future with his injury recovering. You also have Colby Parkinson at 10.6% rostered. So there's a couple of guys there. Like I said, it all depends on how deep your league is. I just wanted to give you guys some deeper names if you're like in deeper leagues.
Wow. Yeah, that was awesome. Especially for those, like you said, deeper leagues. Um, so we're about to, wrap things up. Again, everyone that dropped in to TikTok, we're pretty much going to be live 1 to 2 times a week during the season. We're going to do some waiver wire pickups, some start and sit for anyone that tuned in on either YouTube or Twitch. Sorry that it didn't get to you. Still trying to kind of figure out this whole streaming. But we are going to also upload our podcast to Podbean, which will essentially distribute it to all the major platforms, which is Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube. So if you have any questions, feel free to follow on TikTok as well as on X. So my X account is at Archreaper, ARCHREAPR. on TikTok. If you want to follow, it's at Balar Morgulis 0102, which if you don't know is from Game of Thrones. Leo, where can they reach you?
Yeah, if you have any questions, you can reach me on X. I'm at smooth1074. I also write articles for Fighting Chance Fantasy. I just finished up an article talking like if you still haven't done your draft and you guys gonna draft later this week or early next week. It's four guys to like late round flyers that you want to draft at the end of your draft. I also do some player news at Player Profiler, and you can follow me there. I'm on TikTok, starting to do little videos here and there, and that's at FFLeoG. And thanks so much
All right,
for
thanks
joining the show.
everyone. See you next week.